Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. I wanted to create an overview of some of the most important points to consider if you're looking to join the Canadian Armed Forces Reserve now or in the near future, which is likely why you're here today. Joining the reserves can be a really great opportunity for personal growth, but like any commitment, it does come with its own set of pros and cons. I've been in for 5 years now, so I have a little bit of a background understanding some of the pros and cons here. I'll be covering three topics in particular today, which I don't feel I get touched on enough, being the training, the benefits, and the people. One recommendation I have is that if you find you are not getting all your questions answered here today, you should check out the Canadian Forces subreddits. I believe there are two now, and they have lots of open discussion posts for current members and those curious about joining, so take what you hear today and then apply it into those subreddits for any future questions. So the training, definitely one of the most important parts of this job. As the military, you do have to train. It's very important to your career, to your development. Coming from the civilian world, you will learn how to handle some really awesome weapon systems. Every single person who joins and does basic training has to use the C7 rifle. I think the only exception is the chaplains, but I could be wrong. It's a really cool opportunity to play with radios or artillery. Basically, your trade gets to decide the toys you play with. But don't join the infantry and think you can play with the big artillery guns, because that is strictly not in your trade. Same as how non-combat arms will not get to touch machine guns or the rocket systems that the infantry get to use. The military invests heavily in preparing its soldiers, and this includes everything from basic training to specialized courses in the field, or at a Canadian Armed Forces base. However, you will also quickly learn that the training you get in the reserves is simply not the same in depth as you would get in the regular force as a full-time soldier. For example, most of the desirable courses go to the regular force, like parachute courses, sniper courses, or close protection, and that is for a very good reason. It is because it is their full-time job, and that does not mean, though, that you cannot get on those courses if you try. If you show up regularly and you show your chain of command you're interested, they will probably push your name forward, and it may take longer, it may not happen, there's no guarantees, but you might eventually get on one of those courses. So for anyone who's trying to become a sniper off the bat, this is probably not the route for you. Generally speaking, the first few years of your career are going to be devoted to getting your trade basic course done, and then upon completion of your leadership courses like PLQ, you have a higher chance of getting onto the specialty courses, kind of like a reward system for becoming a leader in your unit.
So the benefits, definitely one of the more important fields when considering about joining the reserves. The pay is one of the first benefits that comes to mind. As a reservist, your pay will be broken down into half-day pay or full-day pay. The difference is full-day pay is twice of your half-day pay. And half-day pay you get for showing up to your armory for 3 hours a week and doing training with everybody else for the evening. You are also entitled to 3 summers of guaranteed full employment if you so choose to do it, called FTSC, and that is a big bonus for a lot of people. Full-time or seasonal contracts do exist in your armory, but the vacancy rate and the work you will do is subject to change. You do also contribute towards your pension, which is great, but not at the same rate as the regular force will. So if your plan is to get a full pension for your time you're putting in, maybe joining the regular force could be a better idea for you. The forces offer some healthcare and dental benefits, which is a bit more of a process to initiate, but definitely worth your time. And one of the more attractive benefits of the reserves is the education assistance programs that are available, such as post-secondary education and tuition reimbursement. In essence, you can file for a $2,000 reimbursement in the reserves up to 4 times for a total of $8,000 if you can explain how it assists your development in the Canadian Armed Forces and benefits your unit. While the benefits are solid, they may not be as extensive as those available to the full-time members in the regular force with the Canadian Armed Forces. That being said, the biggest benefit in my mind is that it lets you try out a career you may want to do full-time, you may not want to do full-time, but you can do this locally and with a much lower commitment, as you can leave at any point you want to, which is really solid for a lot of students who are getting into it. As I got into this when I was very young and a high school student, and found out that I really enjoyed what I do. And the last area I wanted to cover today was the people. The people you meet and work with in the reserves will have a huge impact on your experience. There is no other way around it. The Army attracts individuals who are motivated, disciplined, and dedicated. Often there are a few who slip by who aren't quite in that same motivation level, but generally through training they get weeded out. The camaraderie in the military is second to none. You'll be forced to forge close bonds with your fellow reservists during training, and you'll make all kinds of stories and group chats off of it, which only helps to further that connection. A lot of these guys are going to share similar values and goals with you, and it's really important that you put yourself with them to achieve all your goals together rather than in front of them. It's an important mindset to have because you are going to meet all kinds of people from all walks of life, and these relationships, if done well, can translate into really strong support networks. Whether you're looking for advice, mentorship, or just someone to rely on during tough times. The diversity of backgrounds and experiences also makes for a really unique environment. A bit of a con here is that the environment is conducive to who spends the most time in there. That being said, those who don't have a lot going on and only have time for the reserves are going to be able to show up more often for training, probably get on better courses, advance further in leadership faster. So if you are a student and a very busy student, or you have a career going on, or you're going after your career goals here, it doesn't exactly hinder you from being a good reservist. It just means there's a lot more time balance that has to kind of be factored in when you're doing your training. And you may just not be able to get on courses based on time constraints, and that's okay. So you have to understand your limitation there. I think a lot of people join the reserves thinking it's a job, but it truly is a place to meet others, and that is such an important mindset to have coming into this. You need to be there to support others and to learn, and it will be greatly worth your time. So that's all the insight I had for today. I would love to see some comments if you have any more questions, or if you want me to make a video on another topic. I just thought that over 5 years, these were some of the questions I definitely had going into it, and some of the things I wish I was told starting this job. So hopefully you can take it, you can apply it, and potentially join the reserves, or go to the Red Force, whatever you so choose to do with it. Thank you for your time today, and I will catch you next time.